Hi empaths, welcome back to my channel and back to Journey Through the Tarot. This week we're talking about our week with the Six of Cups. I'll be sharing mine here and you can share yours in the comments. And we'll be introducing the history, symbolism, and divination of the 7, right? This is the 8 of Cups. This is the 7. I hope I said that. As you might expect with the week of this, with the 7 of Cups, some confusion. All right, so this journey is inspired by Dirty and Divine, a transformative journey through the tarot. I'm going to try to slow down my speech. You can see the rainbow from my crystal, what is it, Swarovski crystals in the window. Hope it doesn't land on my face at some point. We're going to get a lot of our information from the Tarot History, Symbolism, and Divination by Robert Empath, which is my tarot teacher. Did I just say that, or am I experiencing deja vu? We're going to get a lot of our information here. I'm tempted to stop and restart, but I'll leave this in because it's so indicative of this week. This is, I hope I said Alice B. Grist, Dirty and Divine, a transformative journey through tarot. We spent a day with each, she spent a day with each card, we're spending a week. And we're getting the information from my tarot teacher, Robert Empath, the Tarot History, Symbolism, and Divination. And we're using the Waite-Smith symbolism in the Rider Tarot deck. I wanted to get the rainbow on there, but it went away. Those items are all available in my Amazon store, linked below. Okay, so getting into the week with this card. Honestly, it reminded me, I'm still in it. Honestly, it's lingering. I'm very susceptible to this type of energy. And I'm starting to understand why. In my research about trauma and healing trauma, this week I have felt like I was in high school again, in a way. Because I was just in so many classes that were just sort of out of my range, and I had to really study for, like, I was really ambitious and I wanted to take all the advanced classes because I felt like that would help. I don't know, it would raise my identity. I identified as someone who was good academically, who was smart, and my grades sort of came down in high school because I was just so ambitious and wanted to take all these advanced classes. And so my grade point average kind of came down there. I also was in a lot of extracurricular activities. I played basketball my freshman year, and that was all year. It was never like you got to, my high school was known for its basketball team and won a lot of championships, and there was a reason for that. We were constantly, every single weekend there was practice. Every season we were in some league, really sharpening our skills, right? So I couldn't maintain that for the full 4 years. So after freshman year, I left basketball and sports and I got into the arts, which was much more doable because there weren't many arts programs because I went to private school. And arts weren't funded. So there was theater, but there wasn't musical theater. So while public schools have more of a budget for that oftentimes, and I know a lot of my friends were in these big productions, my high school wasn't like that. So I wasn't as seasoned as a performer. I would also have to try to hang out with friends and stuff, and I just was so I think I maybe averaged 2 hours of sleep every night in high school, if that, just trying to keep up with everything. I definitely was starting to feel that energy this week because it's such an exciting time, because for people like me who love learning, because there's so much available as far as online learning. And a lot of people are building their network and their contact lists by doing these summits. In fact, I'm working on one, and which is free content, right? Free education. And it's a way to build your list and to align yourself with people who are considered experts in the field you want to coach in or teach in, whatever it is. And you help grow each other. So I've been working on that. And this week I definitely felt a lot of confusion around my options. I started feeling like, oh my God, there's a world of possibilities. And it was illusory, right? Because I was like, there's a world of possibilities. I haven't narrowed this down yet. What am I going to focus on? What am I going to do? And then I was like, that isn't true. Why are you going there? Why are you lying to yourself? You have a lifetime of experiences that point you in the direction you're going, right? So yes, you might have two different interests and they align. It's not like you're trying to choose between, but then I started feeling, but I have a science mind. I am science minded. I like science, but I'm also spiritual. And I think there is this line where they can intersect. And if I can discover that. And so I was just kind of going, it's really going off on that. And I'd signed up for all of these classes. In fact, I'm rushing through because I have an acting class in a little over an hour, a free acting class with Margie Haber, who teaches mostly in LA, or the West Coast at least. But one of my most amazing acting teachers, Rosalind Coleman Williams, she taught the method on the East Coast in New York City. And that's who I studied with for a time. And I had so many breakthroughs because it was my style. And if you follow my podcast, Radio Play Podcast with my co-host, Leah, I talked about her in the Meet Rachel episode. And she's been on Broadway in movies and film. She has her own production company, right? What is it? What is the production company? Red Wall Productions, I think it is. And her husband, I went to him for a session for script writing. He's a script writing coach and also a producer, and they're amazing. And they have a young son, Coleman, who was really little when I was working with her, and he would always come in the room and be like, "You done, mommy?" He's so cute. Now he's like a grown man. So watching her go live on Instagram and stuff is amazing. Anyway, tangent, coming back. So I have this acting class tonight, and then, and she was recently on Broadway in To Kill a Mockingbird is where I was going with that. So I started to have that feeling like, oh my God, there's so many options and I have so little time. And now I'm like, my dad and I have gotten my mom to start walking because we're doing it as a family. So we've been doing that every night, and I want to make sure I do that. I was going to bail on them tonight, but we just started doing that this week, and it's really nice. Like it's one thing that I can really appreciate doing with my family, doing with my parents, and I don't mind like not getting the greatest workout for a time, while we support my mom in the process, because she's never really done that. She's never really taken the time and energy to put into taking care of her body in that way. She's been a hard worker all her life, but doesn't really know how to work out or exercise. And we're going to a local high school with the track in the football field, and it's just bringing back so many memories. I mean, that's not where I hung out as a teenager, because I went to a different high school. I went to private school, which was further away, but my cousins went to this high school, and it's just interesting to be back in that environment of like the sports field, and it brings back a lot of fun memories that I forgot about, hanging out and meeting people and having crushes. It brought back a lot of memories that I couldn't, and even more flooding back, which is interesting. But it's bringing back all these options, right? I have all these things on my schedule. It means I really have to budget my time more tightly, so I don't have time to go on and on and on, hopefully today in this video. So that, and then today I also had my meeting with my accountability partner, Cassie, and we're planning another podcast, something that will be probably comedic, because we are into the arts as well as healing work. She does more body work. She's also into meditation and visualization, and I do that type of work too, but I want to lean more towards teaching and maybe one-on-one client work, coaching, doing a coaching package or program. This week, and so we're going to talk about that, like our experience in the arts as well as and how it overlaps. What we'll probably do is my best experience doing comedy in sketch format was, because I did that the most in New York, was I did a film project and we would come up with an outline for the script, and then we would improv the dialogue while we were in hair and makeup and preparing, right? So we would sit around, we would improv with each other, shoot back and forth dialogue ideas and movement ideas, and then we would pull the best moments and keep those, and then throw away the rest that didn't work, because with improv a lot doesn't work, right? So things didn't really work that were cliche or didn't land. We threw those away and we kept what really worked. And then I was also working in production, so I think we went out ahead of time and scouted locations and found the right location and considered the lighting and the audio quality and what we maybe could do to enhance it, all of that stuff ahead of time. And then when all of us got together in the acting to do the acting. Anyway, so that was the best experience I ever had with doing that work, and it was just so fine-tuned, but we were also all experienced performers. So I mean, I was the least experienced. Everyone else had been in the off-Broadway show Platinos and Collard Greens, or I guess you would say Platinos y Collard Greens. I don't know. But they were all in that show together, and I was really meant to just be a production assistant. I wasn't meant to, or a director of photography or whatever. I don't even remember what my role was exactly. Probably director's assistant as well. And I would stand in a lot and improv with the other comedians or actors, and then other actors were like, "You need to be in the sketch. What are you doing?" So, and then I didn't have any makeup on or anything, so I was like, "All right, fine." And I was the only white person, so I had to really blend in the makeup, and because I was borrowing my friend's makeup. She has a lot more melanin in her skin than I do, so I really blended really well, showed off my skills with makeup too. So interesting that all those memories are coming back for this card, because it was another time where I had my hands in so many different things. I was also working in a metaphysical bookshop and enhancing my understanding and abilities there. So that was interesting. Another thing that came in this week was so today I got a surprise because I forgot today was the first day for the build your brand. And I already have a brand, right? I already have Urban Empath, but it's Tony Robbins and it's Dean Graziosi and Russell Brunson. And Russell Brunson developed ClickFunnels for businesses, which is brilliant. Every business I know uses ClickFunnels. And then Dean Graziosi, I guess, is a really great coach and experienced business person. I don't know. But I really enjoy his energy, and Tony Robbins I just love. I mean, he always delivers something amazing. So I didn't want to miss out. I had just done Unleashing the Power Within. So I forgot that it started today, and I had signed up for Margie Haber's acting class that starts in an hour. And I was like, okay, I promised my parents I'd walk with them tonight if I got all my filming done. I know that I have a deadline because I'm going to launch my Patreon this month, and the month ends like in a week or two, or not 2 weeks, but like just over a week. So I know that I have a limited time there, and by the time the month is over in a week, so check out for that. With this, they're launching in this Build Your Brand Challenge this new platform called masterclass.com. Masterclass? Yeah. No, mastermind, right? because masterclass is the other thing for arts, which is incredible that aligns, right? Because masterclass is incredible because it's like, I used to do the monthly subscription, or I think it's a yearly fee, but you get the subscription and you get to go to all of the study with all these different artists and writers and singers and like a masterclass, and is that what it's called? Masterclass? I think so. And they're doing Mastermind, which is a platform similar to Teachable or Kajabi or Udemy, right? These teaching platforms where you can upload your courses and content like that and have modules and a place to lead people to purchase your courses and to stream your course content. And I don't know what all the features are just yet. It was just presented to me today. And I had been confused about which platform to kind of go on. So I had landed on Teachable, but I hadn't committed there yet because I'm creating a course and I have so much on my mind. Today, I'm also selling some of my items on eBay. I figured I'm decluttering, so that was the main goal. And I also thought if I can make extra money from stuff for decluttering, that would be great because that's a bonus. And then I started getting really excited about the positive feedback from, the different buyers and all of that. So I was like, I could maybe do this, but USPS charges so much for shipping. There is no way. And then eBay takes out a fee, right? They send you an invoice for 10% commission and then PayPal takes out a fee. It's just like, and the amount of money I paid on shipping today, I've learned I will not be shipping in boxes anymore. If it doesn't fit in an envelope, I'm not selling it because the little envelopes, they don't charge that much for shipping. But if you have and they were smaller boxes, but I don't know what's going on over there at USPS, the Postal Service, but I made no money on these. I think I even lost money on these from selling this week. So, and that was even selling a new item. I even sold a new crystal. So I'm going to get off eBay eventually. I mean, for used items, I'll probably stay there, but I'm not going to sell anything that will be in a box or anything probably. I don't know. I'm not sure why it was so much money. That was really like, what? Okay. And then, so like this card, I have my hands in all kinds of different things and it's creating confusion. But I think and plus I have all these ideas and another thing that I was into this week was this trauma summit, healing your trauma, because two of my teachers were speaking in it, Dick Schwartz and Mark Wolin. And Mark Wolin, I studied a family constellation model of healing with. And then Dick Schwartz, of course, developed internal family systems model of healing. And I haven't even gotten to their lectures yet. I'm really behind. And that's another thing where I feel like, oh my gosh, I don't want to pay the fee to have it for a lifetime. I really want to, watch this while it's live. And so I want to get that done. And the speakers are brilliant. It's really amazing. Yesterday, I watched a lecture on relationship trauma, and it just was so enlightening. I also saw one about the polyvagal theory, and that blew my mind because I had been just talking about that, about dissociation and sort of feeling like with my hypnosis training, why am I always sort of under hypnosis and why do I feel like I'm not quite alert? And I think it's a dysregulation in my central nervous system due to trauma. So sometimes what happens with trauma is we have the sympathetic nervous system is constantly triggered, right? So blood flow to the amygdala, it puts us in fight, flight, or freeze, or now more research is done now, fawn as well, right? So fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, we find ourselves in those patterns and we can't quite get out, so we can't relax. And possibly, I do find myself there sometimes, right, in those responses, particularly with when my personal space is invaded or intruded on. I'm very, very sensitive to that, as an empath particularly. And so I do find that my nervous system engages in those moments. And I'm starting to nickname that. I'm a lizard right now. I'm a lizard right now. I'm triggered. But with the dysregulation, what can also happen, and this is polyvagal theory, is you can also have this dysregulation where the parasympathetic nervous system is dysregulated. So you find yourself almost in a trance consistently, like really in this relaxation response and not quite alert. And so it can be like this chronic fatigue feeling, and possibly even, have implications in long-term dis-ease, right? So much to learn. And that's another thing. So I have to go live at some point before we go on our walk and talk about these beliefs and these patterns that are preventing me from really taking action in creating what I'm trying to create. Part of it is there's just so much to learn, and I'm kind of addicted to that. That's that dopamine rush of innovation and triggering my curiosity and new, right? So new territory is really exciting, and new theories, and like this trauma summit. It's very interesting because I'm also in this Speak and Inspire course about how to be a really amazing speaker. I'm not really applying much of it right now, but it's with Lisa Nichols, and she's incredible. She's an incredible speaker. But what I noticed when I was listening to the Summit for Healing Trauma is everyone speaks very gently because they're used to talking to the inner child, right? And so they don't really say that, but I was just like, everyone is so chill, and it's really hypnotizing me right now. I also had a friend, I was thinking about her for about 3 to 4 days. And then eventually she started liking my posts on Instagram because she takes hiatuses away. And I was like, oh my God, I knew you would show up somewhere because I was just thinking about you, and I figured we were starting our signaling system because I'll get a hit that I need to reach out to her for a few days, and then she'll reach out to me eventually because she's quicker on the draw than I am. And she needs less space than I do. So we got on the phone, and she had big news to share with me, and we worked through some stuff. I shared some of the things about trauma with her that I had learned, and I'm like, I need to practice my hypnosis skills and my new toys there. So setting up a date with her there, and also my best friend and I are going to work on stuff, and he's coming up with all kinds of new information and new theories about things that are happening in current events and sharing that with me. And so it's just like a lot of new stuff. I think this is the dopamine rush card, right? Like, which can lead to a lot of decision fatigue, if that's a thing. I don't know, like, what is it? Like, do you know what I'm talking about? Like, when there's so many options, or you're weighing a decision for too long and you just aren't decisive, because there's euphoria in deciding, but while you're still weighing it, sometimes it can just blow your circuits and you're just exhausted. I find myself there a lot this week, where I'm just like still floating in indecision and confusion, and I'm ready for some clarity. I'm also ready to walk away from things that aren't working, that aren't for me. So I'm ready to move into the next week. Let me know how you feel. I know that was a lot and it was coming at you real fast. I'm in a time limit. Maybe that will be great. Maybe that'll be a good thing. It'll be more quick. Also, if you're ever in like Tony Robbins event with the other speakers, they go like this, they speak like this. So I'm kind of in that mode. But anyway, let's get into the 8 of Cups. The 8 of Cups, according to Robert M. Place. Share your experiences with the 7 in the comments and let me know what you're experiencing there. Thanks for being on this journey with me and coming this far with me. Okay, so Eight of Cups. It is night and there is a full moon drawn in a medieval style, looking out over a landscape by the water. The night is a time of rest. A man walks by. He has a walking stick, which suggests that he is on a long journey. In the foreground, 8 cups are neatly stacked. These represent past accomplishments and emotional complexes stored in the psyche. There is a space where a 9th cup can be placed, and this space allows us a view of the man. The man has put his past in order, and letting bygones be bygones, he continues on his way. Perhaps the experiences of this journey will supply the 9th cup. So, time for a journey. And then, what might it mean if this card shows up in a spread? The divinatory meaning of the 8 of Cups. I can't believe we're on 8 already. Moving on from relationships, leaving things that don't serve you. Notice the magician's cape. So he's wearing the cape of the magician. Magician seeking 2 of Cups. Been in dark. Been in the dark. The moon is illuminating something, illuminating the way. Don't find happiness, bliss, or fulfillment in cups. So walking away, journeying, taking a journey. A man of dejected aspect is deserting the cups of his felicity, enterprise, undertaking, or previous concern. The card speaks for itself on the surface, but other readings are entirely antithetical, giving joy, mildness, timidity, honor, modesty. And then Alice B. Grist's intuitive meaning, the past is calling, and yet if you look too closely at it, you won't see your past behind you. Thank it for all it has brought, but now is the time to consciously move forward. Be in the moment, right now. Rinse yourself of the dirt and grit that has clogged up your soul. Release negativity. Your withheld forgiveness. Let go of what ifs. Set yourself pure and clean, and most importantly, open to new experience and adventure. I like the sound of that. And now, what is the Biddy Tarot's meaning for the 8 of Cups? The keywords are disappointment, abandonment, withdrawal, escapism. I don't really need any more of that. The upright 8 of Cups. When the 8 of Cups shows up in a tarot reading, you may feel compelled to walk away from a disappointing situation. It could mean turning your back on an unfulfilling relationship, job, career path, living arrangement, or creative project that was once a source of great happiness to you, but now only brings you pain. You have invested yourself emotionally, but despite your best efforts, are disappointed. It hasn't turned out the way you had expected it to, and you realize that you are no longer getting anything out of this situation. Now, the only choice is to put it behind you and move on with your life, even if it brings you sadness as you say goodbye. The 8 of Cups suggests you sense that something is missing, particularly on an emotional or spiritual level, and instead of waiting around for things to get better, you know you need to leave that unfulfilling situation. It may not make sense to others, because on the surface, it looks as if you have everything you had wished for, but deep down, you know it's not serving your highest good, and it's time for you to let go and move on. The 8 of Cups can be a sign that you are trying to escape a problematic emotional situation or avoiding some major psychological issues and concerns. The cups in the foreground represent emotional issues that remain real and present in your life, yet you are trying to pretend as if they no longer exist, refusing to deal with them. You may repress your emotions or refuse to have open conversations with others about what's happening, instead preferring or pretend as if everything is okay, or avoiding the scene altogether. The 8 of Cups invites you to ask yourself what brings you joy, contentment, and fulfillment on a deeper level. Without it, you might pursue goals that fail to give you satisfaction you're seeking. For example, you may think being in a long-term relationship is what you want. But when you manifest it, you realize that it's not just the long-term relationship you want, but a deep soul connection with someone. If that's not there, then the relationship will not fulfill your needs, no matter how long you stay together. So if you find yourself repeatedly in these 8 of Cups situations where you have no choice but to walk away, spend time exploring what will bring you true happiness and realign your goals with your values. I love that. So that's what we're going to be looking at this week. That feels great. So let's use some sound to get us there. So let's use the sound of the frosted crystal singing bowl to integrate more deeply the week with the 7 of Cups and send out intentions to bring in synchronicities and get acquainted with the archetype of the 8 of Wands, or 8 of Cups, sorry. Still lingering 7 of Cups energy. So let's integrate that, building immunity around that, owning more of that part of us. And you might want to close your eyes, get in touch with your breath. Beautiful. Coming back to the room in your own time. So, transitioning from a week with lots of choices, lots of confusion maybe, decision fatigue, lots of possibilities, even illusory ones, to a week of leaving things behind that aren't working. This is the manifestation process, right? And the road to fulfillment. So I hope you're enjoying. I will see you in the next one. Thanks for liking and subscribing. And if you need anything, chances are the link will be in the description, but feel free to reach out. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Bye, Empath.